Welcome to a Dungeon Rogues production of Spelljammer. Please join the crew of the Grim Repo in our journey across the stars.
Let's go through character introductions. Tell us a little bit about your character, about who you're playing. You guys are playing, a group of salvagers and repo men from the asteroid of Brawl. From it's basically an asteroid floating through wild space that has a whole city on it. It's ruled by a royal family called that's currently led by Prince Andrew. And then there are several competing criminal gangs that have basically divvied up the city and work to control it and the assets that are there. You all are working for a mostly legal outfit and have been for some time. And you have a nice ship that you've managed to buy, or that's you haven't really bought it. It's kind of leased to you by the company that you work for. But you spend most of your days flying through Brawl, looking for ships that haven't had their payments made, or that you bought the contract to salvage on. And we're actually going to pick the game up with you guys doing towards the end of a repossession. But we'll get to that in a little bit. First, let's talk about... you can tell us a little bit about Talcha.
So Talcha has been wandering space for a long ass time. Every once in a while he needs to get a paying job to facilitate his further wanderings, and he is trying out Repo and is brand new to the business these days.
Great. How about BB?
So BB is an autonome with a conical head. It stands for Bullet Head Boutini. His creator, Grand Crack Boutini, was a famed rock gnome philosopher, and he wanted to fight for autonomish rights. And to do so, he wanted to prove that autonomes are sentient and not just clever programming. So he decided that if a god would accept an autonome as a paladin or a cleric, then clearly an autonome must be sentient and not just another machine, and not just a tool. And so he set out to create an autonome with the best chance for that happening. He named him BB for Bullet Head Boutini. BB is currently a fighter. He's a cavalier. He has a tiny figurine of wondrous power that when he activates it, a giant space hamster, his mount, comes to life. Basically, after he basically sent him out to fill his moral compass, an actual physical compass that is attached to him. And in order for it to be properly calibrated, he must go and experience the world. Once his moral compass is fully calibrated, perhaps at that point, he'll finally be able to become a paladin and be seen as a real sentient creature in the eyes of the gods.
I love it. All right, Six Set, take us away.
I really wish that you did Massimo and his bullet head after everybody else, because following that is just going to be shitty. But
now you know what it's like for everybody else, man.
Here we go. I'm going to go over kind of what we're playing. Thrykreen is a kind of insectoid race that's due to Spelljammer. And they've got 4 arms. They usually click and clack with one another, but they kind of have a form of telepathy to contact other races who find their other form of communication difficult to interpret. So this Thrykreen Sixat woke up in a space Hulk in a sealed off chamber, who was kind of drifting the stars for however long it's been, unbeknownst to him. Even though these Thrycreen don't really sleep, he was kind of in this weird stasis in this Hulk until he was eventually rescued by this Repo team, kind of on accident, as they broke open the shell looking for spoils. And so he's been with them ever since. And he is a cleric. And his domain is the Twilight.
Awesome. And then Naj, round us out.
Naj is a very small Hadozi, born in space, like not born on his home planet, because his parents were space travelers of some sort. He didn't know them long enough to have history with them before he was off trying to make his own kind of way and learn about the planet he came from, because he knows that he has a home planet that he's never had a chance to visit. And in his endeavors for kind of searching and getting some more information, he has made a deal with something probably kind of sparkly and fun that gives him more ability to keep searching and trying to see if he can eventually maybe make his way home, if he can get enough money and get close enough to go check it out.
Awesome. And that brings our crew together. The crew of the Grim Repo. The Grim Repo is a Damselfly class Spelljammer that's been decorated heavily to look like a Yogi Night Spider. It is
Space
much smaller
spider?
and swifter. Space Spider, yeah. It was at one time a Spelljammer pirate ship that was salvaged by your company, and it's now for use for your team. And that's where we're going to pick up, actually, is with all of you out on a repossession. You were looking for a ship that you had a contract for out near the naval yards in Brawl. And as you were flying, you spotted it parked outside the parade fields, sitting there docked. It's another Damselfly class. It's kind of the luxury model. Has a new trim put on it, really well maintained wooden docks and features. All the fittings, when you take a look at them from this distance, look like they're gold, but you see that there's a couple bumps that the driver clearly didn't treat this craft as well as they probably could have. You settled your ship in beside it, untethered your gravity winch and got it hooked up, and everything was going pretty smoothly until just a few moments ago, when the recruits, the naval recruits that were scrimmaging out on the parade fields, spotted you getting ready to tow away one of their vehicles, and they begin yelling and running across the field at you. And that's where we'll pick up.
So, I'm new at this. I assume that we are like contracted to repo these things at any cost.
Oh yeah, you have repo privileges and salvage rights. The particular contract on this one, says that you have. I mean, murdering somebody is a pretty serious offense. But you've already got the Spelljammer hooked up to the winch. It's already starting to get pulled into position behind you. Maybe it's too late for you to let it off.
Well, I'm not going to murder anybody, but I'd like to lay down some suppressing fire. And if they walk into it, that's on them.
So, just a reminder: these are soldiers for the royal family. This is the Navy for Brawl. But it's a good call. They don't appear to be armed at the moment. They're wearing their PT clothes out there
if I
doing
see
drills.
Tall Chaw start to pull out a gun, I'm gonna be don't.
What?
Shoot the government.
Oh. Alright. But if they get closer...
I'll head out there. and I'll make some sparks go in and being like, woohoo! And I'll be like, come on, BB, let's go distract them. Because I never assume Tri-Crane are very chatty. And like do some prestidigitation to do some sparks and like distract them and be like, no, come to us.
So BB and Naj, you step off of your craft and start walking towards the field as this group. It's about 5 soldiers running towards you, getting closer. You hear the closest one to you. He's human.
I get on I'm mounted, by the way, so that I can keep up with Naj.
Great. So you are on your space hamster.
Yeah. I'm on my space hamster.
Yeah, the nearest one to you, he's still about 100 feet away.
Her name is Nugget.
Oh, Nugget.
Hey, get away from my car. What do you think you're doing? Get away from my ship.
I want to be in your ship if you paid for
We're
it.
just doing our job, buddy.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you are late on multiple payments. And I start listing payments. Payment 1. Date, blah, 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 blah. Pursuant to your contract, paragraph 2, subparagraph A. If you are late for more than 3 payments, then your ship will be repossessed. We'll be a possession company.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit, and you know it. Look, I missed some of those payments, but they're all caught up. I put my signing bonus to it.
Well, you can come collect your ship at.
I'm going to collect my ship now. You get it off there.
We are getting off there.
He steps in towards you, BB, and towards your hamster, and starts like jabbing his finger up towards you. You get over there. You get your winch off of my ship. Hey, stop that! Stop winching it in.
Can I grab his finger?
You can absolutely grab his finger.
I want to grab his finger, and I'm not gonna break it, but I'm a fucking robot. I just kind of vice grip on his finger and start pulling it back, like, you are being very unreasonable.
Son of you little bastard! Let go of me! And then his 4 friends who ran over as well, kind of begin swarming in towards you and Naj.
I'm gonna make it get real dark now around us, and I'm gonna kind of close my eyes and hang my head down and just be like, why do we gotta do it the hard way? And release a frightful presence.
Alright, go ahead. You see...
It's a 10-foot thing, yeah.
Yeah, you see these young buck soldiers. They were stepping in. They were starting to like cock back their fists, like they were gonna rush you, and they falter. 3 of them kind of look at each other and look towards you guys and be like, "Hey, whatever you deal with this. This is your car, your problem, man." And they put up their hands and back away, and start to back off.
You always have a way with words, Naj.
Yeah, leaving just 2. So there's the guy that you have the finger of. And then there is an orc. The orc kind of glowers, looks down at you, Naj. Did he really not pay his bills?
Hey, BB is never wrong.
He has missed 3 payments. We have sent out, calculating, 19 inquiries of her payments. 16 have gone unanswered.
And there's no... Can we give you, I don't know, like 10 gold to get it off to unwinch it?
Oh, you wanna pay the fee to take it off the ship?
Yeah.
BB, do you have that fee?
Calculating. What would be the fee? Is it? Oh,
we're making
this up.
We're stealing it from them. This is our tip or bonus or whatever.
512 gold and 37 copper when compounding the late fees.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. You're on your own, Brad. Maybe you should just ask your dad for more money like last time.
Sounds like Brad doesn't have that kind of money either. Otherwise, he would have made his payments.
Let go of my finger.
I let go of his finger.
Oh,
Have a nice day. my body shakes, and like a piece of paper comes out, and like and I hand him the receipt for his vehicle, which says like where he can pick it up.
This is bullshit, man. This is bullshit. It's paid up. Your books are wrong. My lawyer is gonna be there. My dad is gonna just rain hell down on you.
Okay.
You don't know what kind of trouble you got yourself in.
Just make sure you talk to our boss. That's all I ask. If you're gonna reign and sue with your lawyer, bring it to our boss, whose name is Malik.
Malik Repo.
I hate to interrupt, but I have one question. Where does this receipt come out of?
There's a slot in the middle of his chest.
Oh.
Okay.
like the dot matrix sound. Like.
He takes the he takes the receipt and stands up. And at this point, you can tell, BB, you definitely dislocated this guy's finger. It's kind of bent in a funky way, and it's starting to already swell.
Hey, I'd like to do a medicine check.
Sure.
I have the +0 medicine, so we'll see how that works out.
Can't
You're just
possibly.
gonna yank on it.
Yep, I just want 11. I just want to go like clunk and
Yeah,
just
you
like
do.
reset his finger.
Ah!
See,
You
that
grab a
feels
hold of
better
it.
now.
Hey, that service free of charge.
God, where are lawyers? By this point, you hear the ka-chunk of the gravity winch fully wheeled in and engaged.
Thanks, Brad. Now we're out. It's good been doing work with you. See you later. And just like, let's go, BB, let's go.
Been around like, yeah!
Yeah, you turn and start heading back.
I will not get away!
Yeah. You, Talcha and Sixat, you see your coworkers coming back towards your ship, and behind them, back in the field now, there's a much larger gathering of soldiers that have started heading this direction. After the three fled from earlier, it looks like they went back and found reinforcements, but they're still quite a ways off as you're battening down the hatches.
So remember what I said. We don't pick fights with them, but we'll finish them if they started. But let's not let them start it.
Affirmative.
Sixat is going to send a telepathic hum to the rest of the group that just basically conveys sit down and strap in. And then he's going to punch it.
Yeehaw! My favorite part.
Does everybody get back into the crew hold and strap in?
If we can, as long as we can get all that in there before they get there.
Oh yeah, they're a little ways behind you. As Sixat, you take the helm and boost out of there. Now your ship is made for this. It's made to go fast and to be a hauler, and you have no problem at all quickly taking off, lifting up, and heading back towards your repo yard on the other side of Brawl. Along the way, you see the sprawling city beneath you. People working, other spelljamming ships flying this way and that, many of them being worked on. You float over the Royal District, through the market area, down into the lower market where your repossession and salvage yard is. You've all put in a hard day's work, and you assume, as you land in the lot and begin the process of unhooking and filling out your paperwork, this is probably your last lift for the day.
That's okay. I can just had to put my feet up.
Good. It's been a hard day, and a little sweaty end to it there. And you're just expecting that lawyer from Brad is going to be a pain in your ass, but not really your ass, your boss's.
That's right. That's why the only name he got was Malik's.
It was Malik. And sure enough, as you finish unfettering your load and heading into the little metal-clad office, you see Malik, your GIF supervisor, the owner of the company, sitting behind his desk, his heavy hippo-like feet thrown up on it. He's drinking something out of a mug that's just a little bit too big for him, and scattered papers around.
Tell me he's smoking a cigar.
Smoking a cigar. This room is always full of his cigar smoke as you all step in.
It's like, hey, boss.
Yeah, did you have a good day?
It was a pretty smooth day until the end. At the end, some royal guards wanted to try to pick a fight about Repo and their buddy's car, but they backed down. Although this didn't have any notes about a rich kid, just being belonging to a rich kid, so they may try to sue you or something. I don't know. That's your problem.
As long as it was legal. You got the paperwork on it?
Oh yeah. You know, BB never misses that.
He leans forward to take the ream of paperwork from you, BB.
I open this hatch compartment and I just the paperwork is handed over. Hey there, boss.
Yep. He kind of holds it in one hand and shakes it a couple times and throws it down on his desk. Everything seems right. So, good news. Got some good news, bad news for you. You want the bad news or the good news?
Who wants to pick? I'll let anybody else pick.
Bad first.
Bad first? You can't clock off yet.
As long as it's overtime.
Oh, yeah. In fact, it's going to be triple OT.
Why
And a
am I-
bonus.
An old school register ka-ching sound just sounds from the insides of BB.
Ching, ching, ching.
That's what I like to hear. You guys are my best crew for a reason. And we got a bit of a bonus for you on it too. So we got salvage rights to a drifter. There's a galleon class Spelljammer out drifting wild space.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah, they got spotted by the Royal Navy, but they didn't have time to pull them in. So Prince Andrew sold rights. We bid on it and we won it. So good for us.
Bad for them.
Well, the prince made plenty of money on that. You mean bad for whoever lost their ship?
Affirmative.
Yeah. Well, stuff happens. Probably pirates. Yeah. But it's about 2 days out. You guys can take the Grim Repo, pull it back in. Royal Navy said there's no other issues out there. They got coordinates here, and you can just program them into your orrery. It should be good to go.
Six Saddle reach out and grab the data pad with the coordinates and just send like a message to everybody that just says, let's be off.
All right. I'm good to go.
Ready.
My head spins to the other side, and the body just like starts walking backwards, back towards the ship.
You're having too much fun with this.
The bell dings as you walk out. You all hop back into the Grim Repo. It is stocked for about a week's worth of travel, just with food and water and other resources. It does have basic cots that fold down for you to rest on. This isn't the first time that you've gone into wild space to collect. And a couple days out, hey, that's just a quick jaunt. You're not.
It's a safe jaunt, right?
It's a safe jaunt. Yeah, it's still in patrolled area around Brawl. So.
Little did we know.
Little did you know.
Well, most of us don't even need to sleep.
It's true.
So I'm sure that we kind of take turns at the helm, just in some sort of like passive trance almost, and the journey goes by just swimmingly.
And I assume
Right.
actually I take advantage of this and I actually like sleep like 12 or 16 hours if I can get away with it.
That's why we're the best crew. The best crew.
Yeah. So you fly through wild space. You see, as always, there are amazing and horrific things, but they are very far away in the distance. You see tears in space. You see asteroids flying in ways they shouldn't. You see the Navy at one point in pitched conflict with a group of galleons with space pirates. You see the dark ships of the vampirates off in the distance, and you avoid them without much difficulty. Your ship far exceeding them in speed.
I love that there's a creature called the vampirates.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best thing ever.
They live in the darkness of space. Wild space. You fly without much issue for your own ship. And as expected on the second day, you do see in the distance a derelict ship floating exactly as promised. There's a galleon-class Spelljammer. It's triple-masted, exactly where it's supposed to be.
A galleon-class Spelljammer actually looks like an actual galleon, right? That has been fit to fly in space.
Yes, I have shared a photo of it, I think, with everybody.
Oh, beautiful.
That's right. It's a big one.
It's very large. There is a docking deck on the stern of the ship where you can fly in and hook up. From here, it doesn't look like there's any movement on the deck.
Yeah, can we scan it at all?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a... are you using tools on your Spelljammer, or are you going to use your eyes?
I'm sure we would fire an array at it or something like that to see if it can pick up life signs or if it's holding atmosphere or anything like that.
Yeah.
You want like a, I don't know, insight?
Investigation.
Yep. Okay, somebody else might want to do this, but I'll give it a go. Fuck. That is a 19.
So you're good at that.
Not bad.
So you take the Grim Repo around and do a flyby on the ship. There is an atmospheric bubble still being maintained. There's definitely a gravity pull still there, so it still has its air envelope on the ship itself. It does look like it's taken a fair bit of damage to the hull of the ship. Like you can see holes through it here and there.
Do we have enough information or close enough to see if it's gunfire, like cannon fire, or is it like been torn with tentacles? Is there anything like that that we can...
Yeah, it looks like it's explosive damage. So it looks like it has taken gunfire damage, probably cannon fire. As you fly by, you see some markings that you think might be due to maybe arcane energies that struck it. You know, wild space is a dangerous place, so it's not uncommon for a ship to have those kinds of repairs, that kind of damage to it that needs repaired. Importantly, though, it still has its air envelope, and it looks like it still has structural integrity. Like the ship itself, when you get it back to salvage, may very well be able to be repaired and put to use. The docking area, the main deck, is clear of debris, and you don't think it would be a problem for you to dock with it and start setting up your winch.
Considering BB's size and shape, perfectly happy to be used as a probe.
Shoved through an exit wound.
What's that?
You load him into the cannon.
So, question. Can we haul this? Obviously, we were sent here with the intention that we could, but...
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a problem. So hauling things through wild space is very easy. It's when you get into areas that have atmosphere, basically, that have a gravitational pull, that you'll start to have difficulties. With this one, there are docks and brawl along the outer edge of the asteroid itself that you can take this ship back to.
Okay, cool. Glad that our mass can affect theirs.
Yes.
We can go take a look, and maybe we could see if go on and as we're hooking it up, make sure there's no one on here, obviously, and then see if the engines might actually still be intact, or whatever they're called.
Sure.
The stones might
The
help
helm.
a little bit. The helm. There we go. That's what it's called.
If their spelljamming helm is still functional, we don't even have to tow it.
It's true.
Yeah.
We can take a look, but I'm not sure if it would be left here if it was still under its own power.
Possibility. Everybody's dead.
Likelihood.
Sixat will start charging up the winch to kind of grapple it, and maybe we can go take a walkabout.
Okay.
make sure we don't have the parking brake on or anything like that.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a ranged attack roll. I believe you have proficiency with ranged weapons, so you can add your proficiency bonus to it.
Okay. Take a -1 off of this.
Or maybe Talcha would be the better one for that. But yeah, you do manage to land your shot as the winch basically settles into place on the dock. And you begin the process of connecting and docking.
Yep, a very familiar process, probably, of tying off and checking seals and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you feel the change in gravity as you get to about 30 feet away as you're being winched towards it. You can all kind of feel your stomachs fall and your head sag a little bit as your ship is pulled into the gravity of this one, to the galleon, as those two forces kind of meet and you're inside of its envelope.
Do we ever, or in our experience, would we have, we found out that the envelope of oxygen is still intact. Is there situations that we've run into where like they've been damaged and like have fast leaks, and we do this in our little air suits and stuff like that just in case?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
so you all have company issued low quality PPE. They are effectively emergency spacesuits, and they're coveralls that you wear. And then as a bonus action, you can activate an air pocket that will cover your face and head and give you a breathable environment. If you are, it'll last 1 hour. When you activate it, it'll last up to an hour. Resets after a short rest. But if you take a critical hit while wearing the suit, that critical hit will pop your air bubble and you'll begin to suffocate or take on whatever the environment has. But yeah, it is very common for you to wear those suits, particularly when boarding an unknown ship.
Okay.
Just because it has an air pocket doesn't mean that air isn't toxic.
Okay. Perfect. I definitely have mine on.
Yeah.
I assume that as since I'm a construct, I don't need.
You don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
That is correct. You do not need food, water, or oxygen.
You just need regular oily rub-downs.
Yep.
Mhm. Do we have a cleric?
You do.
Yes.
He has 4 very skilled hands.
Just so you know, unlike other constructs, healing spells will actually work on you.
Well, I wasn't planning on using it on you anyway. Yeah, I tried to go against type and not pick any healing spells.
Perfect.
What a great cleric.
I plan on not getting hurt. That's my thing.
I'm more of a wayfinder than a cleric.
You feel yourself, like I said, your stomach fall, your head, the blood in your body kind of reacclimate to this new gravitational point.
Bigger gravity.
Bigger gravity as you're pulled inside of its air envelope. You land on the dock, fully winched in, and you lower your cargo doors. Is that correct? Because you were going to head out to survey it. So you pop
Yeah.
your hatches and step out.
Against better judgment, yes.
You
I'm always excited. Let's go.
are potentially surprised, shocked, when the sound of carnival music immediately begins to fill your ears.
Oh God, no.
And the smells and sights of a full-blown circus
I hate you, Kyle.
are outside of the hatch.
Even though we didn't see this on the entry,
Outside. That is correct.
close the hatch. Let's go. I'm not playing killer clowns in space
Come
with
on,
this guy.
This is triple time. You got this. And a bonus.
So I don't want to go home without that thing.
We're already latched. We could just go.
BB just continues making that cha-ching sound.
I'll tell you what, we could get going, but they're gonna come deal with us because they're gonna notice when we start towing it, I'm sure.
Not to mention our ship might have to wrestle their ship if they try and get away.
The thing for us to do, if we are outnumbered, is to destroy their spell jamming hell. Then they can't go anywhere, and we can tow to our heart's content. They won't be able to fight us.
Your logic is sound. Let's go.
Let's go get the helm.
Pop your heads out of the hatch and step off onto the deck. You see a fair,
No.
a circus, and a carnival. There are several tents filled with games and the laughter and shrieks of something. Those are blood trails going from the tents. You see a large clown-faced fun house situated in the middle of the ship with a strange green field behind it, and beyond that a large 3-ring circus tent, which you now see the air envelope is being pumped out of, and you see from inside this red-hued bubble, almost like a balloon, that you find yourself and your ship now trapped within.
Everybody knows that this is bad, right? These are bad things.
You see 3 large clowns, almost giant in appearance, on these long legs, go bounding by, and they turn their head a little too far to the side and smile over at you as they scurry from one tent to the other.
I hide behind BB and kind of like close my eyes.
Can't believe we're doing fucking killer clowns from outer space.
Neither can I.
Perhaps they are friendly. I will
No,
try to.
no, clowns are never friendly. Space clowns are never friendly.
Did you see the blood trails?
I know enough. I've been in wild space before. This is not my first rodeo. There's no such thing as a good clown.
There is no such thing as a good clown.
That's the tagline for this adventure. Whatever you're calling it, blah blah blah. Colon. There's no such thing as a good clown.
Oh, I put stop clowning around, but I like that too. That's
So-
where you're at. You're standing up on a dock. You have about 20 feet down to the floor. And then there are several tents that appear to have carnival games. You can hear the sounds,
son of
the smells. There's the smell of warm food, hot food, popcorn, and some kind of meat. You can guess what kind of meat being cooked from carts. And shrieks, the shrieks of maybe happy people
No.
coming from inside these games.
So don't let them see you. Probably best to sneak around and try to get past as much of this to go find the helm.
Absolutely.
I'm sneaking and I have all my weapons ready.
I attempt
I
to
ain't
sneak.
fucking around.
I'm wearing the equivalent of plate mail. I forget. Does plate mail give me disadvantage on sneak?
It does, in fact, give you disadvantage on stealth checks.
That's what
You
I
also have
figured.
little puffs. You also have little puffs of steam and smoke coming off of you at all the time.
Do you
Yep.
want to pick a side and like let's go down the left side?
So to the left, there's a large tent inside of which you see there are several. There's one main. It looks like a dunking booth, maybe. Except that sitting inside of it, there is a person, looks like an elf, sitting in a chair with a heavy iron chain and ball tied around their feet. You can see the target that you're supposed to hit was some kind of rock or a stone to be thrown. And up above, you see the buckets of water that would fill the chamber that this elf is trapped within.
Is anybody attempting to play the game?
Oh, there's several clowns bounding around, but it looks like they're waiting for people to come play their games. Off to the right, there's some other game going on as you see heads poke out of some contraption. There's a large mallet sitting before it, and you see bound faces poke out of holes and then suddenly go back below.
Whack-A-Gnome. I really don't like that game.
But you're gonna sneak by, right? Leave these people to their fates.
I think that's the best idea.
Nothing could go wrong.
We have no obligation to these people contractually, but we do have a moral obligation to saving these people.
You see BB's moral compass slowly shifts just slightly towards good.
I don't disagree, but I don't think we're the ones to save them. I'm pretty sure if we can get this toad,
You think they'll survive 2 days in here?
they won't if we get killed.
Computing.
If we die trying to save them, then it's not neat. Like,
Then more people will die. Yes, your logic is sound.
it is more selfish. And if the clowns are waiting for people to play, then let's just not play.
You see one of the stilted clowns comes walking back out slowly, standing in the midst of all the tents.
We haven't been noticed yet, right?
They looked over in your direction as they skittered by and walked between tents, but they didn't stop to engage and interact with you. There is now one lone stilted clown walking out and standing in the middle. Though he is not actively looking towards you. He's standing up on them, tossing rings, and occasionally you'll see fire. He's blowing fire between rings, putting on some kind of show.
All right, who wants to investigate that? I mean, we got to try to sneak and not get anyone else's attention, or we got to go through the hard way.
Talcha is already gone.
Okay, going through the hard way. Let's go.
Where's Tulcha?
He snuck away. So are you guys sneaking around, or are you going to approach the stilted clown?
BB is confused, so he's waiting for someone to who obviously knows more to do something.
I forgot that we had BB, who apparently has plate armor. Sneaking, I don't think is. I mean, we could try, but it feels less likely to be successful.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Sure. Let's sneak. Let's start by sneaking then.
All right. I already got Talcha's stealth check. Everybody else, go ahead and give me a stealth check. Don't forget, BB, you have disadvantage.
I rolled a 1.
I don't think you could possibly do worse than that.
Initiating sneaking protocols.
So, BB, you've been doing a lot of things over the last year or so that have kind of been navigating your moral compass more and more away from neutrality towards good. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Yes, his alignment currently is neutral good.
Is neutral good, yeah. So he has been choosing to do right as often as he can. As your party is sneaking off to the left to skirt the tent and get around to the fun house, you're pretty sure that you've broken the visibility that any of the stilted clowns would have as they're performing and dancing.
Mm-hmm.
But BB, you don't break the vision of the elf, of the woman trapped in the tank. And you notice now that water is already filling the chamber that she's in. It's been dripping from those buckets that are tilted. And as you get closer, you watch as the water begins to rise, and you know for a certainty that if you leave her here, even if you're just going to the helm, she is gonna drown. And now she's looking at you, staring at you, and you see her mouth the words, "Help me."
What's the booth made out of?
Looks like it's made out of glass. Like some kind of very thick glass.
Well, there's a reason that his head is shaped like a bullet, and I have Charger as one of my feats. I'm sneaking with everybody. I see this, and I just look at my moral compass, and I put it down, and I just turn towards the booth, and just like I plant myself, put my head first, and then just like there's this hiss of smoke, and I take my dash action towards the booth to try to crack the glass.
Charge the glass.
Head first.
Like a bullet. You all hear the snap of the explosion as BB's head breaks through this glass and it shatters behind you. You thought you were all clear, as you're now behind this tent.
I look at the other two. So much for that plan.
Water begins flowing out, and you hear as the elven woman, "Oh, thank you! God, they captured us! Please, they're
I tried to like
evil."
pull her through the hole that I made.
Mhm. Yeah, you grab her the chain that is wrapped around her ankles and bound to this large iron ball will be your biggest hurdle as you're hauling her.
And I tried to break the chain.
Absolutely.
Is that should I do a strength check? What would you like me to do?
You can make a normal weapon attack against it.
I
Yes, Tasha.
When I hear him crash into the thing,
Mhm.
I am going to shoot the clown from the shadows.
Okay. With that in mind, let's go on ahead and roll initiative.
Well, on the bright side, everybody else made it to the other side of the tent. Maybe they haven't been seen.
Maybe they haven't been seen. That's true.
That's true, but we're not going to leave you behind, BB. Don't worry.
Friendship is forever.
It's at least until it kills me.
Friendship is helping your friends get paid.
Yes. Naj definitely agrees with that.
Very true. Okay, so 2 people get an action, a surprise action. So BB, go ahead and take your attack against the chain.
I'm using my longsword +1.
The target is, we'll say you get advantage on the roll because you're not fighting against anybody. You're just trying to hit a target.
Then with advantage, 11. Man,
An
I'm rolling
11
like
is-
shit.
And 11 is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage for it. It is magical because it's a +1. Also, Talcha, you will get your attack, your surprise round attack.
13.
Yeah, you cleave through most of a link. You think if you give it one more good solid hit, you'll be able to bust her out. Unfortunately, the sound of shattering glass, rushing water, and now you hitting this has definitely gotten the attention of the performing clown.
If that's the case, can I use my action surge to strike the chord again? To strike the
No, not on a surprise round.
Okay.
Or not on. You basically get one. You'll get one surprise action, and then we'll go into normal initiative next, and you'll
Okay.
get.
Let me ask you just one last question. Sorry.
Yes.
As a fighter, I get 2 attacks per round. Without as a stand, as like
Yeah.
my attack
You can
is
take-
to so
You can take another attack as an action. Yeah.
Okay, then I'd like to do that again.
Yep.
So
We are playing as 6th level adventurers, so they are. They
about
do
a
have
nat
some
20.
experience with the world.
Well, that's good.
You're gonna crit on the chain
Crit on the chain. So 15.
because it's doubled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you get both dice rolls. So 15. That's enough. You manage to break through the chain entirely with the second hit. As you see the clown begin to move towards you, Talcha, you get to take your shot. You do have advantage on the attack because he did not notice you where you're hiding.
Ooh.
Well, 21 does hit. So you're going to deal 20 damage.
The
Ugh.
laser rifle is a 1d20 plus 7? Holy shit!
That's his attack. His damage is
No, his damage-
3d8.
Yeah, 3d8 plus 6.
Plus 6.
Oh,
That is
okay,
so
sorry, my
much. That is a ridiculous amount of damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you shoot him as it looks like he is charging, well, taking these long stilted steps and blowing fire in the direction of BB.
Look at this fucking clown.
Does he get sneak attack at all?
He
Oh.
does.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding us. Yeah, Talcha is a rogue. For 12. He does 12 additional sneak attack damage. Oof. I don't know, guys. I think you might have to fight more clowns.
No.
Sixat is your turn.
Sixat is a little bit stunned by how this kind of all progressed. So he's going to start fumbling with his gun and pulling it out. But he's going to cast Sleep. If he can get a couple in there, then that's great.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your the hit dice for sleep.
Yeah, so it'll be, since it's cast at a higher level, it'll be 9d8.
Whoa. All right.
I like the sound of that.
We'll say you're targeting. You see the second clown beginning to stick his head out of the tent and stand up to his full stilted height.
44.
Oh,
Good gravy. Quick check just to make sure that there's no weirdness here. No weirdness here. The one that's running towards BB falls over off his stilts to the ground. The one that was coming out of the tent is still awake. However, many of the shrieks stop from the machine, from the whack-a-mole machine. As you see now, the heads that are being pushed out are limp, and the people within the machine are asleep.
hey, that's a small mercy.
As their heads are just bumping around without them holding it up.
Yep, each time it gets pushed out. But the one that was running towards BB does hit the ground, falls forward, and you hear this squeak, squeak from his shoes. Now that he's close enough to you. Before
Say it ain't so.
When he hits the ground, there's this womp womp sound that plays.
I like the idea that there's this huge, enormous snot bubble that just inflates and deflates as the clown is sleeping.
As he's sleeping. Yep. Naj.
How big are these? Are these actually 5-foot squares? What kind of dimensions of it?
They are 5-foot squares.
Okay.
So the deck on the ship is about 70 feet across, somewhere in there, and you've got another 35 feet or so before you can make it to the front of this fun house.
I'm gonna kind of climb along the edge and go kind of on top of the tent a little bit,
Okay.
and then take a pot shot at the guy who's not asleep.
At
Feel it.
the one still emerging.
Yeah, the one still emerging.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Go
be
ahead
like,
and-
I got some sparkles for you, as I pull out a wand and shoot sparkles out of it.
you pull out, like, it's a legit wand.
Yeah, it's a legit wand. I pull
Love
it
it.
out and cover them in rainbows.
Blast
I'm
him.
gonna Eldritch Blast twice.
That is a hit.
So the first one does 8 damage,
Good. And a 21 definitely hits.
and then the second one did 6 force damage.
Great. 6 force. Yeah, does it look special when you hit people? Does it glitter like a firework?
Oh, it does. It does. There's the pfft, like
A
little,
burst.
little burst when it hits.
A
Definitely.
burst of sparks. Very cool.
I mean, it's supposed to be
yeah.
dark too, so they're dark sprinkles. They're not happy sprinkles.
Got it. Yeah, this clown, you see, he was all smiles, and now you've blasted him. He's got this big frown, and then you see the sharp angular, jagged teeth as he opens his mouth and his eyes turn black. He begins running towards you.
It's like, ooh, apparently that was bad touch.
Unfortunately for him, Talcha, you get to go again before this clown.
I forgot to do the hide action as a bonus. I'll just attack and do the hide action after this. So I will.
Well, you could still bonus action hide and then attack.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't be able to bonus action hide after.
That's true.
Okay, so I don't have advantage, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit.
Oh, sweet. I don't get the sneak attack, but that's still 21 damage.
Oof.
Yeah, you just
my
blast
God.
him with your rifle as he's running. Takes 3 big steps and covers the distance between him and Naj as you blast him. Naj, you can see just the misery that these beings want to enact upon you. The pure rage that they have towards you.
It's like, oh, don't come closer. You're going to get more bad touches from my friends.
Yeah, he steps up with 1 foot, and again it squeaks. Squeak, 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 squeak. Climbs onto the tent towards you, and you hear this wind-up sound.
Oh.
Like a buzzer, almost. And he extends a hand towards you, and it's a rattling with this metal contraption. And
Uh-oh.
does a 9 hit?
I'm small, so no, definitely a 9 does not hit me.
A 9 does
I
not
dodged
hit.
and weave in that crazy cut wig action.
Yeah, he attempted to touch you with some kind of mechanical device, and as he gets close, you dodge out of the way, and your hair stands up on end as there's suddenly this electric shock, and this buzzer sound goes off, and he smiles, and black ichor begins to drip from his mouth hole. BB. He's about 10 feet up above you.
Protect, friend! I'd like to make my way up there, if possible.
You can give me an athletics check to climb up,
I'll be happy
or
to
jump,
do that.
or leap up if that's more of your
12.
preference. Yeah, 12 is enough. You're able to climb up.
I like to think that he just clunks into his legs and just springs up. And hopefully, and behind the clown, flanks the clown.
Okay.
I would like to attack. Just say like, protect friend, protect friend, protect friend.
Protection protocol.
Your protocol activates. Yep.
My attack roll, I'm assuming with advantage, right?
You would not normally have advantage
But
from flanking. Flanking doesn't normally give advantage.
oh, okay. Well then, does 22 hit?
A 22 hits.
And
You don't need advantage, sir.
I do the 12 points of damage with my first attack.
Okay. Oh yeah, you cleave a massive. He's got this gaping laser wound through him. 2 in fact, and now and Eldritch Blast marks, and now the sword gouge in him, and you see this black blood starting to flow and sizzle along your blade and on the tent roof.
Pick it at 8 doesn't hit.
An 8 does not hit as you come in for the second strike.
Protection protocol activated.
Thanks, BB.
Sixat.
Sixat is kind of fiddling with his gun. He's not really used to this. Who is used to these killer clowns? And he's fiddling, but he levels it and aims up at the clown on top of the carnival tent and takes a shot. 24 to hit, which I assume is good, and that is 16 points of damage.
Yeah, how would you like to kill him?
He's kind of aimed at his side just based on how they're angled. So I would say that the laser pistol just punches a hole through his kind of chest and lungs, and it gushes black blood out of his last breath as he falls off of this tent of death.
Almost that last part. as black blood does gush, and he turns towards you, and in his last moment, you hear this laugh.
Love
And
that.
then he pops audibly like a balloon, and you see that black ichor splash out in every direction from him.
Oh no!
BB and Naj, I need a dexterity saving throw, please.
Ruh-oh, Reggie.
I thought you said I was allowed to narrate it, and I didn't say any of that.
17.
I said you could say how you killed him. Ooh, you both make your saves. So you're only going to take 6 points of acid damage as this black blood begins to sizzle on your flesh and burn you.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh shit! Caustic elements detected.
You know there's another clown somewhere down there. You saw 3 before, but there is no third clown wandering around out here. You probably have to go into a tent if you want to follow him.
Can we coup de grace the sleeping clown?
You can.
Perhaps it's best to do it from range.
Unfortunately, you get disadvantage on ranged attacks.
What if we prop him up?
It's true, you prop him up so he's no longer prone. Yep,
Prop him up, firing squad.
that
Well,
would do it.
let's take care of the other ones first, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know how long
he
sleep
is
lasts.
Certainly asleep.
Well, I think we need to check the tent that we're on right now. That I'm on.
That one has been BB bashed open the glass casing. So there's an elven woman who's now been freed. That's
Oh, okay.
kind of. She's actually running towards your ship.
Are these tents? Do they go all the way down to the ground?
They have. We'll say
Flappy
they're
partition
open
kind
on
of
3 sides. Exactly. Yeah, they're
Okay.
flappy partitions. They're fair tents.
So then it's possible that he's just hiding behind like tables or chests or carnival games in one of these, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do we remember where we kind of last saw him? At least maybe.
Yeah. So he had been going towards the yellow and teal tent. So the ones over to the right.
Okay.
If we're gonna stay with initiative order, it is Naj's turn.
Yeah, we might as well, because I think we got to deal with another one. So I'm just going to pop down here and take a look.
Do you kind of fly or
Yeah, glide down a little bit. Yeah.
Glide down.
Yeah.
So this one has the contraption, the whack a prisoner contraption that now has a bunch of sleeping people poking their heads up and a large bloody mallet before it. You see that there are high scores behind it with several names written on there. And there are hanging large size stuffed teddy bear prizes that are hanging up along one wall as prize support.
I feel like it's like made from real teddy bears.
It might be.
But there's people inside.
Or there's people inside. You can roll you said you're taking a look for them. You can roll an investigation or a perception.
Let's try an investigation. See what I could see in there.
How do you want to approach the insides of that tent?
From like the lower corner to kind of like peek through,
You kind of peek in.
like peek around the corner.
Yeah, you peek around the corner and you're kind of taking things in methodically. Yeah, you see these heads still popping up, and you see below them there's a machine that's hooked in that's running pistons. Looks like there's a plug there that you could probably unplug to power down the machine. And then there are the teddy bears, like I was describing. They're different colors, and they kind of have different facial features. Some of them have wings, some of them don't. As you're looking, it is kind of how you feared. There are pools of blood underneath these large stuffed teddy bears. You notice that the fur isn't just soft and delicate, it's actually matted and flooded with blood. And then you see 2 clown shoes from some clown shoe wearing clown poking out from behind one of the teddy bears.
I don't think I can use prestidigitation to like unplug the machine.
No. You'd have to use
Like mage hand.
Mage hand, yeah.
No, well, I gotta stop the people from getting hurt since we're playing good guys today. BB's moral compass has got us going in there. I'm gonna.
Got to get that fixed.
Yeah, I know. I'll go the rest of the way in to unplug the machine to protect the unconscious people.
All right. Yeah, you unplug the machine. You hear Talcha.
All right. So I move to here.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see a clown here? Is that the
Yeah,
sleeping
that
one?
one's asleep. That's the sleeping one.
Okay.
And you see Naj has crawled into the tent and unplugged the
Over here.
the carnival game. What's your passive perception, Talcha?
It is 18.
Oh, you actually do spot him
Oh, okay.
with an 18. You do see this colorful, curly clown fro peeking out from behind one of the giant teddy bears, and at first you think it might be just a decoration for the bear, and then you see it kind of sway back and forth.
So, giant red clown fro, hard to miss, right?
Yeah, that would be fair.
I'm going to telepathically to everyone else. I see the clown in the tent
He's
with
behind the second bear.
yeah, behind that second bear. Take the shot.
Affirmative.
Affirmative.
Everybody yells out loud, "Shoot!"
Take the shot.
I would say shoot, but I'm learning from a bot, I think. So.
That's
24 hit.
That's a
Dear
big
God.
hit. That is a big hit. But he is still alive as you blast a hole through the teddy bear and through him, and you hear squeak, 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 and then the clown starts climbing out from behind the bear.
And then I duck back behind the little thing that the little tent thing that I'm hiding behind currently.
All right,
That was, by the way, that was 36 damage.
that
Yeah.
sure was. Yep,
Holy crap.
yep. That's some real damage there. BB, you see your elf friend that you freed. She is running up the stairs towards the ship.
Question: can she just take our ship and leave?
Probably not. You're not entirely sure that you could leave, considering you're inside of this big red balloon.
Oh, right.
It's a
Well, we
trap.
probably have protocols and passwords
To
and
fly your
flight
ship.
checks to get all that up and running.
Correct.
Um,
Correct. I think it's easy to say that people can access the winch room, but they can't actually get beyond that without having keys.
Question: based
Yes.
on what Talcha did and where he's, would I be able to triangulate where the clown is?
Yeah, at this point the clown has made himself known. After getting shot, he's actually climbing out, like pushing. I was making it seem more chaotic. He's actually methodically shoving his two absurdly long arms out from behind the teddy bears and separating them as he steps out into the room.
Gotcha. Because Naj is in that room still and by himself.
Not necessarily for long, don't worry.
BB takes his sword, which I like to think that sword was made by his creator, so it meshes with his physiology. He takes his sword and he sticks it inside a hole in his chest, and there's this ring, so that the sword just starts spinning around, like a weed whacker, and he thankfully, due to the space here, it looks like I actually have enough movement just to get to him, and so basically,
True.
just making my way, head first, making my way towards him with this blade
With
just
the spinning blade of
spinning
death.
around. So I cut right through the tent, through the teddy bear, big fluff everywhere, through the teddy bears, as I do my two attacks on
All right.
this thing.
Teddy bear guts everywhere.
Everywhere.
Does a 14 hit? 13 points of damage.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Ho, ho, ho. Does that mean that he dies?
It does. How does he die from your spinning blade
So
of death?
what from Naj's perspective, he hears the that he's heard many times before through the cloth of the tent, comes barreling BB head first with this thing, with this Cuisinart just spinning around, and
Oh,
he
I
just
like Spinbot of Death.
and he just like runs and like leaps towards the, like pushes himself, like launches himself towards the, like a bullet, towards the clown, and just like just limbs and pieces are just like fluffing off, as acid flies everywhere.
Yep.
And my dexterity save, 15.
All right. Once again, you make it. You're going to take 5 points of acid damage as his black ichor blood
Ow.
splashes on you, douses you. And at this point, you're starting to get kind of etched all over your body
Is
from
friend
this.
okay?
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more adventures of the Grim Repo. For more content, check out Dungeon Rogues on YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon.